Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, students.
Morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How about you?
Miss?
I'm pretty good, thank you. Okay, before we're going to the discussion, let's pray together with basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay. Students, please turn on your camera, please, because I will check your attendance list from the station. Please turn on your camera. All of you, please. Okay, I think all of you has already opened your camera. Okay, at our material, I require you to select patung, high five, and run.
Okay.
Okay, and then you have to rotate it just like this. Rotate. Okay. Yes. Anyone confused? Ada yang bingung?
No.
Okay, I think it's really nice to follow. Okay, now repeat after me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now give applause to you guys. Okay, that activity has a purpose to make our brain to stay longer. Well, students, I believe that all of you already confused what we learn today. Ada yang bisa menebak hari ini kita mau belajar apa?
No, Miss.
No, okay.
Don't know, Miss.
Okay. It's a material and you have to intention, okay, students? Saya akan menjelaskan materi, jadi kalian harus mendengarkan. Students, what do you see? Apa yang kalian lihat?
Borobudur Temple.
Borobudur, Miss.
Yes, that's true. And the other pictures?
Itu kayaknya yang ada di luar negeri, Miss. Di Indonesia nggak ada, Miss.
Iya, di mana teman-teman?
Roma, Italia.
Yes, that's right. So, Fifi, what do you think about the first picture? What do you think about Borobudur Temple? Could you describe it?
Use Indonesia, Miss.
Try in English.
This is the temple of Borobudur and is located in Java. Java.
Yeah, thank you.
Java.
Yeah, that's right. So this is Borobudur Temple that located in Central Java, di Jawa Tengah ya. How about the other pictures? Anyone want to describe it or explain about these pictures?
Me.
Yes, please.
It is located in Roma, Italia.
Yes, that's right. Give applause to Tamara.
And have many windows.
Yeah. Yeah, students, this is Colosseum Roma. This Colosseum located in Roma, Italia. So, dari kegiatan sebelumnya sudah nampak ya kita akan belajar apa hari ini?
Descriptive text.
That's right, descriptive text. Oke, kita lanjut. So, descriptive text. The social function of descriptive text is to introduce or describe object by detailing the object subjectively or describing the condition of object from someone's point of view. Jadi dari teks deskriptif itu memiliki fungsi sosial, yaitu untuk menunjukkan atau mendeskripsikan objek dengan menyebutkan beberapa detail informasi dari objek yang ingin dideskripsikan. Lanjut lagi. The descriptive text also have generic structure. The first one is identification. Identification is include general information of the object that will be described. Second, talk about description. Description include to describe the object in detail. Jadi generic structure atau struktur teks dari teks deskriptif itu ada dua. Yang pertama ada identifikasi, di mana di identifikasi ini terdapat informasi umum dari objek yang ingin kita deskripsikan. Kemudian yang kedua ada deskripsi tentunya, karena ini merupakan teks deskriptif. Jadi deskripsi ini kita menjelaskan lebih jelas mengenai objek yang ingin kita bahas. Oke, kita lanjut. Descriptive text also have linguistic elements. The first, use simple present tense, is, are. The example, this is Borobudur Temple. Jadi untuk linguistic elements atau elemen bahasa di dalam teks deskriptif itu yang pertama menggunakan simple present tense. Second, use verb, noun, adjective. Example, Borobudur Temple is beautiful place to visit. Tes deskriptif ini memiliki atau menggunakan kata kerja, kata benda, dan juga kata sifat. Seperti contohnya, Candi Borobudur adalah tempat indah untuk dikunjungi. The third, detailed noun phrase includes specific information about the object. Example, Borobudur Temple is located in Central Java. Jadi di dalam teksnya juga ada noun phrase, kalimat yang menerangkan benda ya. Jadi ada kalimat seperti Candi Borobudur terletak di Jawa Tengah. And the last, use thinking verbs or someone's point of view. Example, Borobudur Temple is one of my favorite destination in Indonesia. Contoh kalimatnya ini kita mengungkapkan opini atau pendapat kita terkait teks deskripsi yang ingin kita bahas. Contoh kalimat di sini, Candi Borobudur adalah salah satu destinasi favorit saya di Indonesia. Next. Okay, before we're going to the example of descriptive text, any questions? Ada pertanyaan?
No,
miss. Okay, that's really good. You can see in your slide or in your screen, I already prepared you one of descriptive text that talk about Borobudur Temple. So, anyone want to be my volunteer? Ada yang mau membaca ini?
me.
Oh, okay. Okay. Please. Wait.
Borobudur Temple. Borobudur is Buddhist temple. It was built in the 9th century under I can see. Okay.
Under Sailendra dynasty of ancient Mataram Kingdom, Borobudur is located in Magelang, Central Java, Indonesia. Lanjut, Miss.
Kita ganti ya. Siapa yang mau membaca
Oke.
lagi? Ada yang ingin membaca ini?
Saya.
Oh,
Iya,
oke,
Miss.
Tamara. Now it's your turn.
Borobudur Temple is constructed on a hill 46 meter high and consists of 8 steps like stone terrace. The design of Borobudur symbolizes the conception of universe in Buddhist cosmology. It is believed that the universe is divided into 3 spiritual spheres: Kamadhatu, first sphere; Rupadhatu, second sphere; and Arupadhatu, last sphere.
Okay,
Sudah,
enough,
Miss.
Tamara. Yes, thank you, Tamara.
Saya
So,
Miss,
for the last paragraph. Oh, okay. Now it's your turn.
Borobudur,
Batu.
Borobudur Temple is a value treasure for Indonesian people. With its magnificent size and architecture, no wonder that Borobudur Temple includes 7 wonders of the world and assigned as one of the UNESCO World Heritage.
Okay, really nice, Patung. Thank you. Okay, this text describe Borobudur Temple. So, Borobudur Temple is located in Central Java, specifically in Magelang, and built on the hill, 46 meter height, and consists of 8 steps. Borobudur Temple divided into 3 spiritual spheres. The first Kamadhatu, second Rupadhatu, and the last Arupadhatu. Borobudur Temple is a valuable treasure for Indonesia and assigned as one of the UNESCO World Heritage. Jadi Borobudur Temple ini dibangun di Jawa Tengah, lebih spesifiknya di Magelang, dan konstruksinya itu dibangun pada ketinggian 46 meter. Untuk bangunannya sendiri ini dibagi menjadi 3 bagian, di mana 3 bagian ini simbol atau simbolisasi dari perjalanan yang dipercayai oleh agama Buddha. 3 spiritual spheres. Yang pertama ada Kamadhatu, kedua ada Rupadhatu, yang ketiga ada Arupadhatu. Borobudur Temple karena keindahannya, ke magnificent, sangat luar biasanya, bangunan ini diakui oleh UNESCO sebagai peninggalan sejarah. Sudah paham ya, murid-murid di sini tentang deskripsi dari Candi Borobudur? Atau masih bingung nih?
No, Miss.
Sudah,
Oh,
Miss.
okay. Now we're going to the next activity. Now, please repeat after me, and you have to speak all of those vocabulary as an exercise. Jadi saya akan membacakan setiap kata, kemudian murid-murid menirukannya ya. Oke.
Iya.
Build,
Build.
dynasty,
Dynasty.
ancient,
Ancient.
located,
Located.
stone terrace,
Stone terrace.
yes. And next, spear,
Here.
Here.
treasure,
Treasure.
Treasure.
magnificent,
Magnificent.
world heritage.
World Heritage.
Heritage.
Yes. Give applause to us. All of you
Yay.
has a good vocabulary and good speaking. Okay. I already prepare you videos. Sudah terdengar audionya?
Sudah.
Oke.
The National Monument, or Monas, as it is usually called, is a monument built to remember the struggle of Indonesian heroes fighting the colonial domination. Monas was built based on the idea of the first president of Indonesia, Ir Soekarno, with the help of Sudarsono and Saladin as the architect and Ir Rusino as the consultant. It's built on an area with a width of 80 hectares. Monas was officially opened on August 17, 1961 by President Sukarno and publicly opened on July 12, 1971. The top of Monas is shaped like a flame, symbolizing a never-extinguished spirit of Indonesian people. The flame is made of bronze metal, weight of which is 14.5 tons, and plated with 35 kilograms gold. The flame has 6 meters diameter and consists of 77 concentrated parts. The standing pillar of Monas has height of 137 meters, symbolizing a rice pestle, while the cup symbolizing a rice barn. Rice pestle and barn are traditional tools to pound rice, figuring out Indonesia as an agricultural country. Jakarta people usually use Monas area as a place for sport activities, the morning and afternoon time. Most people visit Monas on weekends and holidays. You have heard and read the descriptive text.
Okay, now. Okay, students. Jadi itu tadi membicarakan tentang apa? Deskripsinya tadi.
Monas, Miss.
Monas. Oke. Monas ya. Kira-kira ada yang tahu tidak Monas itu terletak di mana?
Di Jakarta.
Yes, that's true. Nah, Monas located in Jakarta. So, jadi kalau misalkan lihat dari teks deskripsinya tadi, pembahasan pertama, Monas is located in Jakarta itu dinamakan sebagai identification atau identifikasi. Kemudian untuk kalimat-kalimat selanjutnya seperti menjelaskan arsiteknya siapa, kemudian tingginya berapa, itu merupakan description. Jadi itu merupakan kalimat-kalimat penjelas yang mendukung deskripsi dari Monas itu tadi. Sudah paham ya, murid-murid, tentang penjelasannya tadi?
Sudah.
Oke.
Kok
I will play again the video. Now you have to answer the questions.
The morning and
Play
afternoon
lagi,
time.
Miss.
Oh, lagi
Check your
another.
understanding.
Okay.
Let's answer the
Yeah.
following questions.
Okay, I'll repeat one more time.
The National Monument, or Monas, as it is usually called, is a monument built to remember the struggle of Indonesian heroes fighting the colonial domination. Monas was built based on the idea of the first president of Indonesia, Ir Soekarno, with the help of Sudarsono and Saladin as the architect and Ir Rusino as the consultant. It's built on an area with a width of 80 hectares. Monas was officially opened on August 17, 1961 by President Sukarno and publicly opened on July 12, 1971. The top of Monas is shaped like a flame, symbolizing a never-extinguished spirit of Indonesian people. The flame is made of bronze metal, weight of which is 14.5 tons, and plated with 35 kilograms gold. The flame has 6 meters diameter and consists of 77 concentrated parts. The standing pillar of Monas has height of 137 meters, symbolizing a rice pestle, while the cup symbolizing a rice barn. Rice pestle and barn are traditional tools to pound rice, figuring out Indonesia as an agricultural country. Jakarta people usually use Monas area as a place for sport activities, the morning and afternoon time. Most people visit Monas on weekends and holidays. You have heard and read the descriptive text about Monas. To check your understanding, let's answer the following questions. First question, why did the president have idea to build a national monument?
Okay, stop. Soal nomor pertama. Why did the president have idea to build a national monument? So, anyone knows the answer?
Me, Miss.
Oh, okay, Fifi.
Okay, the answer is to remember the struggle of Indonesia heroes.
Oh, that's right. Good, give applause to Fifi. Jadi soal ini yang pertama membahas mengapa presiden pada saat itu memiliki ide untuk membangun monumen nasional ini atau Monas. The answer to remember the struggle of Indonesian hero. Jadi tujuannya adalah untuk mengingat perjuangan pahlawan Indonesia pada saat itu. Okay, we're going to the next questions.
Second question, who is the architect of the national monument?
Stop. Second questions.
Me.
Who is the... Oh, okay. They already answered. Who's there?
The answer is Sudarsono and Silaban as the architect and Roseno as the consultant.
Yes, that's right. Ayu, give applause to Ayu.
Okay.
Jadi soal kedua ini, siapa arsitek dari Monumen Nasional atau Monas? Jadi arsiteknya itu ada dua, Sudarsono dan Silaban. Sedangkan Ruseno sebagai konsultan atau orang yang memberikan saran. Okay, we're going to the next questions.
Third question, when was the national monument officially opened?
Stop. Anybody wants to answer these questions?
Saya, Miss.
Okay, Batung.
The national monument officially opened on 17th August 1961 by
Yes.
President Soekarno.
Yes, that's right, Batung. That's right. So, when was the national monument officially opened? Kapan Monumen Nasional resmi dibuka? Jadi resmi dibuka pada tanggal 17 Agustus tahun 1961 oleh Presiden Soekarno. Okay, next questions.
Fourth question, what does the top of Monas look like?
Stop.
Me.
Oh, okay. What the answer? Nela saja, ayo Nela.
Look like shaped like a flame, symbolizing a never satisfied spirit of Indonesian people.
Yes, that's right, Nela. Your answer is right. So, what does the top of Monas look like? Jadi, seperti apa bentuk top itu apa ya? Puncak dari Monumen Nasional itu. The shape like a flame, symbolizing a never extinguished spirit for Indonesian people. Jadi bentuknya itu seperti api, bara api, flame, mensimbolisasikan atau sebagai bentuk rasa semangat rakyat Indonesia yang tidak pernah padam. Okay, next. Last questions.
Fifth question. What is the meaning of the standing pillar of Monas?
Oke, siapa yang mau menjawab?
The standing pillar of Monas symbolizing a rice vessel, and it is figuring out the Indonesia as an agricultural country.
Yes, that's right. So, what is the meaning of the standing pillar of Monas? Jadi, apa arti atau apa makna dari pilar? Seperti bangunan yang kokoh gitu ya, standing dari Monas. The standing pillar symboling a rice vessel as agriculture Indonesia. Jadi disimbolkan kalau di Indonesia itu agrikultur atau pertaniannya itu makmur dengan standing pillar itu tadi kan karena bentuknya naik terus. Oke. That's really nice discussion, I think. Your spirit is very wonderful, and I appreciate your hard work in this lesson. So I want you to give applause to yourself. Give applause to yourself. Okay, good students. After we talk about descriptive text, also you have to do any work related to descriptive text. Saya akan memberikan tugas pada kalian yang harus kalian kerjakan dan kalian assign, kalian kumpulkan minggu depan ya. Jadi seperti ini alurnya. Kalian memilih gambar satu, misal Candi Prambanan. Kemudian kalian menulis deskripsi Candi Prambanan itu di Word, di Microsoft Word. Kemudian deskripsi itu kalian baca dengan direcord, dengan direkam di video. Jadi bisa melalui aplikasi seperti screen recorder atau video maker seperti itu, bebas. Setelah kalian merekam video, nanti kalian upload di YouTube, di channel YouTube kalian, ya. Apa kurang jelas tugasnya? Instruksinya?
Jelas kok.
Oke, mantap. Oke, jadi tugas kalian akan kita bahas di pertemuan selanjutnya ya. We will discuss the material in next meeting. Well, students, we on the end of the lesson. Thank you for all the participation. Keep that in mind, keep in spirit. Jangan itu ya, jangan luntur semangatnya. Kalian pertahankan seperti ini tadi. Meskipun kita bertemu secara virtual, tapi saya harap kalian tetap semangat untuk mengikuti pembelajaran kita pada minggu-minggu depan ya, minggu-minggu setelah pertemuan hari ini. So, thank you for all your participation. Before we close our lesson today, let's pray hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Okay, thank you. It's good to see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
See you guys. See you students. Bye bye.